I do sometimes get quite concerned when people ask me questions like, you know, how do you cook? Or do your children look after you?
Particularly in relation to my anxiety, people have good intentions when they try to give you advice and give you things that they might think you should try, like, have you tried drinking chamomile tea, or if you tried doing yoga, or like, do you think you should go for a walk? And it's kind of like, you know, I've lived with depression and anxiety more than half my life, and I'm pretty good at managing it. And yes, I have tried all of those things, but it's not always what works for me.
I think the thing that makes me most uncomfortable is, again, when using the term chronic fatigue syndrome, people try to relate to you and they try to say, I've got children, or I've done this, I've done that, I know how fatigue feels, I know how you feel, when in actual fact, you can't compare them. And I always feel really uncomfortable when people try to do that, because I know they're trying to do something kind and they're trying to relate, but it just makes me feel really uncomfortable and shows that there is a complete lack of understanding when it comes to living with ME.
Look, I'm quite happy for anyone to ask me anything, because I actually didn't know what it meant to have a colostomy bag or an ostomy. When my surgeon told me, I know this is disgusting to say out loud, but I was choosing death. This was going to save my life, but I just could not get my head around the fact that my bowel was going to hang out of my stomach. I was absolutely disgusted by it, but it was because I wasn't educated. I didn't understand. I didn't know anybody with mine. No one talks about it. It's a taboo subject. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. So I'm really happy for anyone to ask me anything, because that's terrible. I don't want anyone to feel the way that I felt.
I do sometimes get quite concerned when people ask me questions like, you know, how do you cook? Or do your children look after you? Particularly when they were 2. And they'd, you know, just been throwing a tantrum, and then somebody would come along and say, oh, it's wonderful that your child is looking after you. So I do get a bit worried about those sorts of views, but again, it goes back to my earlier point, and I understand that it's just that we're not visible enough in society, and that's why disability employment is such a passion of mine, because it makes us more visible, and it makes it enables people to talk to us and understand that we're just human beings like everybody else, with families and, you know, challenges, and, you know, trying to pay a mortgage and all of those things. So, you know, I think I'm really open to being asked whatever question people want to ask me, as long as it's respectful. You know, I am constantly surprised by the number of people who, when I in the past have said that I was the CEO of an organisation, have just been gobsmacked by that, and have been really, you know, concerned about how on earth I would do that. I think, you know, that's why we really have to change the situation. We have to have more people with disability employed in leadership roles in our organisations across the board.